Division III college football coaches are not doing it for the paycheck. There are no million-dollar contracts. They do it because they love football and they love the kids. That is certainly the case for Bethel head coach Steve Johnson. He's going to retire after 35 years of coaching at Bethel.
I pretty much know this is going to be my last year. Kind of just preparing to do this, but it's not. You don't do that as much as you think. Well, this is my last one. I'm not that kind of a guy. But I kind of knew that I wanted this to be the last one, and I just was preparing like I always prepare.
I knew Bethel was a Christian school, from the start, right? And so when I came to Minnesota to play football, I transferred to Bethel to also play football. Played against Bethel numerous times and just loved the way they played, loved the way they carried themselves, their character. And I've always wanted to grow my faith along with football. Along with that, you play against all these other teams, and these teams, they make a tackle, they, talk, reckless in your ear, or, they trash talk and certain stuff like that, and it's part of football and it's competitive and I get it. But it was one thing about Bethel, like, you make a tackle, they make a tackle on me, they help me up, tap me on the helmet, and keep going. And then they celebrate with each other. They loved each other. You could tell these guys are different from everybody else.
I have this group of guys around me that I can lean on. Like I have a lot of guys, but then I have this kind of couple guys that I can go on about anything. Like something's going on in school, relationships, just mental health, anything like that, I can go to them. And even the coaches too, like how they're such a good example. Like they're not sitting here cussing at you. They're not talking down on you, not saying, oh, you messed up. The coaches and the players and the whole culture around kind of shaped like what it means to be a Jesus follower.
Well, I redshirted at Mankato, so I was just practicing, not playing, and then it was around Halloween where in practice, just like it was a crazy thing where I just planted my foot and my fibula just snapped. So then that ended up being my last day at Mankato. I went home and really never went back, and then just started looking at new schools from there.
So I came into camp, and I came back this year. We obviously had Jared be the starter for the last couple of years, and I sat behind him, and I kind of wanted, a chance to. And I got to start and play in some games before, but I was like, okay, I kind of want a year to get to see what happens without Jared there. I mean, we knew they were going to be a good opponent. They had, made a splash in the playoffs the year before. They'd beaten St. John's in the playoffs the year before, and we knew they were going to be solid. Also, they had played a game the first week. We had a bye the first week, so it was our first game, their second game. So I think that goes into a little bit just us being slow to start, and then coupled with them being a good team.
I think we knew going into Wartburg it was going to be a challenge.
It was like my first time playing football again in what felt like 2 years, like my first time hitting, and we're playing one of the top 3 teams in the nation with probably the best running back in the nation. I'm just like, whoa, like this is college football now. I wish I would have gotten an easier first game, but went in and couldn't look back.
We kind of knew going into it that they were going to be a good team because they were like number 1 ranked defense in a lot of categories in the year before. And they didn't lose too many guys going into that game too, so we knew it was going to be kind of a fight.
Thanks for joining us as the Bethel Royals will be starting out their season hosting the Knights from Wartburg. It's number 16 Bethel versus number 3 Wartburg. Clausen goes to the right, George across the formation, then back to the left side. Fake handoff. McLaughlin finds wide receiver wide open in the end zone. That's Maxted, second week in a row with a touchdown reception. O'Neill in for kicking duties.
Blocked.
The kick is blocked.
Devin Williams picked up by Nate Farm. He's at the 20, the 30. This is 2 points if it goes. 45-50. 45-40 is down to the 30. The 20, Nate Farm and the Royals at the 10. 5, 2 points. Royals!
Nate Farm gives the Royals a little encouragement.
Arguably our best player, David Jeebly, who a guy that I love to watch play, and I think he's going to be an amazing back for us. Like some of these guys on the wall, we run the ball well, and he broke his leg and dislocated his ankle in the second quarter of the first game.
5, 6, 8 yards. It's going to take too long to put any points on the board this half.
Clock under a minute and a half to go in the first half. Bolt takes a snap, hand off to Jeebly. Jeebly off the right side. He's going to get tackled short of first down yardage. Jeebly, this is not what we want to see. Jeebly down.
One more thing. Bam! Here's this thing bugged me, this thing. Yeah, and now this guy who I love has his leg broken and his heart broken in one fell swoop. We're a different team without him. I am trying really hard to not be, a baby. And I am a baby from my core.
So we see Coach Steve Johnson out there helping Jeebly as they bring the cart out. They have to take him off. So what started out as such a promising day for Jeebly, unfortunately, is going to come to an end here. That's pain, that's frustration, that's
agony.
That's a lot of heartache of knowing how hard he worked and just getting loved up by his teammates as he's being carted off. They're surrounding him as he's going off. That's great to see. And now the Royals have to find a way to compose themselves and go back out there and try to move the ball down the field here with 1:21 to go in the first half.
So here's one more punch in the face, and oh man, I'm struggling.
Royals had some momentum going and lose their starting running back in a dramatic fashion with a serious leg injury because he took the air out of the stadium a bit.
Oh, dropping back. Looking deep over the top. We've seen this before. This time complete.
So an opening game loss at home for the Royals, something not seen often through the years. Hats off to the visiting Knights of Wartburg.
We had a tough time moving the ball to start, and I didn't play perfect, but coaches made a choice to go with Alex for the second half. So I took that and was like, all right. We had been sharing reps throughout camp, so the fact that they wanted to give him a shot, while it was disappointing, was not shocking to me when I was sitting there at halftime.
Our guys, I think, competed their tails off and fought, and at the end of the day, it was like, man, we didn't have enough juice in the tank, and we probably left a couple big plays on the table that we like back. But man, it was fun to see our guys battle, and I think what that did for us, it gave us a lot of confidence for the rest of the year. Of like, hey man, we hung in there and played really good defense on a top team in the country.
We lose to Wartburg, played well. Our defense is amazing. We go to Eau Claire and we played better. We played good on defense. We're not where we want to be. I know it in my heart, but winning covers a multitude of sins. You lose and it doesn't mean you stink. You win, it doesn't mean you're good.
St. John's is always and our guys are always going to get up for a St. John's game.
Johnny's football is on the air. Good afternoon. Welcome out if you're just tuning in to Clements Stadium in Collegeville as St. John's and Bethel do battle for the 46th time in their storied history. 3 wide receivers, bunch to the left side. Severs is going to throw. He's under a lot of pressure. He gets sacked, tries to throw the football. That's a major loss of 11. Johnny's 1 for 5 on third down. Third down here going long for Wheeler. Picked off. 2-back set. You rarely see this anymore. Behind Call. Call takes the snap. He's going to try to sneak it. And it's a touchdown. 2 wide receivers to the right on 4th and 12 from the Bethel 28. Severson facing a blitz. He stands in there, airs it out for Wheeler, and the pass is caught. Touchdown to the left. He gets the snap, play fake, looking to throw. He's looking over the middle, passes tipped and intercepted. Went off of Johnny and intercepted. It's Yagi on the interception return to the 40. And Yagi goes down at the 38 of the Royals. Johnny's on third down or 2 for 12. Not great. Severson going to throw middle screen. Benner wide open. It's a foot race. Benner down the left side of the field. He is going to score a touchdown. The longest scoring play of the year. They bring a man in motion now. That's Wheeler. Hand off to Volk around right at 15, 20, 25. Up the right sideline. Inside the 20. And down to the 8-yard line. Johnny's take a knee and run out the clock.
I think that was a rallying cry. Like, all right, now we're 1-2 after a St. John's game. Like, who are we? What are we going to be about? What kind of team do we have?
Things were bleak, and I'm like, oh man, could I maybe have retired last year?
Are we in trouble for this whole season? Because there's these high expectations after a great year, and it was like this, whoa, like we kind of got slapped in the face in week 1 where, we don't score offensively.
Man, there was just kind of a lot of change of pace. You lose Rosti, and you come in, and you got a couple different quarterbacks that you're rotating in, and through kind of different points throughout the season, seeing who's going to work, and dealing with different injuries. And you have some stud players that get injured throughout the year, and so it's really gut check time, and you see what is this team really made of.
How we reacted to losing, even though this was my first year on the team, I could just tell this isn't what happens in this program. You don't lose a lot of games as a Bethel football player. And you could just tell people were, a lot of teams you could lose to the number 3 and the number 8 team in the nation and be okay with it. And we weren't.
Rossi was here for so long being who he is, and kind of George being behind him, and George is such a great guy. And seeing him kind of get into the game, get flowing, get the juices going, it's just so cool to see him making plays, because we all knew he could do all these things, but being behind Rossi, because Rossi was so good, it was just so awesome to see him being more confident in receivers, having Joey, Micah, Gabe, all of them helping him out, and then Riley and Ellie being there too. So just kind of seeing him be the player he had the potential to be was so cool to see.
To have the patience to let us work through some growing pains offensively just kind of speaks to I think the character of the team. It was a bit of a wave of emotions and feeling like the guy and then trying to earn it back and everything.
We understood that we controlled our own destiny. Even though we were 1-2, we understood that if we got it figured out, we would have a shot at winning the conference.
All right, guys, way to go, way to go. Gotta go again, gotta go again. Woo-woo. If Gustavus hangs on and beats teams they should, we're going to be playing them for the championship instead of St. John's, which we've done 3 years in a row.